Evening, everyone. It's 6:30 on Wednesday, December the 1st, and this is your closing comment. It is video number 1042. And Omicron in San Francisco was really kind of inevitable. There was no big surprise. I think that today's bounce, which turned into a dramatic decline, or not so much a dramatic decline, but a dramatic reversal, had more to do with the fact that, as I mentioned this morning, a lot of people were really thinking that Powell and Yellen would walk back a little bit of their rhetoric from yesterday's testimony. And when that didn't happen, we immediately started lower. It wasn't a deluge, it was slow at first, but it really came apart in the last half hour or so, especially Apple, which was up 12 of 13 days. It traded as high as 170 and 30 cents. And when it turned down, when it went through unchanged, it ended up down to 164.03. The close was 164.77. So we have pretty much a 6 point reversal from the high to the low and closing down on the day, which typically would be called a 1 day reversal. The volume in the stock, which has been running pretty big to begin with, was 159 million shares, which is up from the 78 million shares on average that it trades a day. So it traded twice the volume. Right now it's trading 165.51, which would be, in fact, up 20 cents on the day, but still $5 off the high. So it's a pretty ugly looking chart. Like I said, new all-time high, closing down on the day, on the low, on increased volume. And the stock is still overbought. So what did we do in the averages? Well, we had 1,000-point reversal and range in the Dow. From up 500 and change to down 461.68, 1.34%. The NASDAQ had a $550 swing and finished down 283.64, 1.8%. The S&P had a $150 range today, closing down 53.96, 1.18. The only one that didn't have that kind of range was the big loser of the day, which was the Russell, down 2.3% or 51.49, and the transports down 352.2%. The VIX was 3112, which is not really excessive. It was up 393 or 14%. But the volume increased to 6.2 billion. That's first of all. And second of all, the internals were horrendous, 2.5 to 1 down, which is not anywhere near climactic. If anything, it was climactic this morning before the reversal. And over on the NASDAQ, it was 3 to 1 down. So not a pleasant day if you were long, especially if you were long Salesforce, which reported yesterday. And this morning was trading about 284. Last night 284. Today it traded as low as 251.34. So $33. It closed, or the last right now, 252.55, down 32.41 or 11.3%. Kathy Wood's ARK Innovation Fund, 98.60, down 709 or 6.7%. And our ex-president's supposed media platform, DWAC, which, if you recall, went from 9.5 or so to 175 in 3 days, came all the way back down to trade 36.69 today. It's been a pretty steady erosion. And then all of a sudden this afternoon, on no news, it just turned back to the upside. I'm sure that if I searched all of the social media, there'd be some kind of pump there. It got back up from 36.69 to 59.39. Last 56.42, up 15.03 or 37%. Futures, the oil got as high as just under $70, but closed down at 65.57. Tonight it's up about 58.60 from where it closed today. Nat gas came back in, traded as low as 425. The gold, which was up early, trading pretty nicely, and then of course turning right back down with the market. Let's see. It was an inside day. We traded all the way up to 1795, again right under that 1800 that I keep complaining about, came all the way back down and closed up 780 at 1784, and tonight it's down about $2. Bitcoin down 790, nothing overwhelming there, although Ethereum was down substantially less than that. As I mentioned this morning, Ethereum was $80 from its all-time high, while Bitcoin was $14,000 from its all-time high. So, I know it's a higher price, but on a percentage basis, it was more like a couple of a percent versus 20%. The dollar was basically unchanged, closed up 2 cents at 95.02, and the bonds were up a quarter. I don't know what to expect tomorrow, except that unless there's some startling good news, I'd be surprised to see much before. If we get a gap to the upside again, I think it's going lower. If we get a washout to the downside, that would be fine with me. Right now, the S&P futures are up $2.50, NASDAQ up 12.5, and Dow futures up 40, which is really kind of meaningless. The Bitcoin is up 335, and Ethereum is up $17 and change, and the bonds are up about a half a point. All right, everyone, I'll be back in the morning.